We are entering the new day of ruthless competition to recruit and retain staff. Leaders' soft skills of getting willing cooperation, encouraging real innovation, fostering creativity, being excellent persuaders and having supreme people skills are the new reality. Konnichiwa and welcome to the Leadership Japan series, and I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, President of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, broadcasting from Minato-ku in Tokyo. And much more importantly, you are a student of leadership, highly motivated to be the best in your business field. I do 3 weekly podcasts, and if you have an interest in presentation, search for the Presentation Japan series on iTunes, and if you're interested in sales, then look for the Sales Japan series also on iTunes. We publish the Leadership Japan series every week, Wednesday at midnight, Tokyo time. Today's show is brought to you by the Leadership Training for Managers course. In addition to all these solid leadership subjects, it also has an innovation project built right into it, so it really provides high value. Hosted in-house or send people to our public programs. If you have a performance or people challenge in Japan, then contact me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. We have a truckload of great stuff for you over at japan.dalecarnegie.com as well, so check that out. Look out for the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show coming soon on YouTube. Before we start, today's handy Japanese phrase is "Sign de ii desu ka?" Sign de ii desu ka? Often in Japan, people use a hanko or the chop to sign for things, but you may not have one, so you want to just do a signature. So to ask permission to do that, we say, "Sign de ii desu ka? Sign de ii desu ka? Can I sign for it? Sign de ii desu ka?" This is episode number 204, and today we are talking about Sontaku, the secret sauce for leaders in Japan. Sontaku is a Japanese word which means to surmise or conjecture about someone else's feelings or desires. It is often associated with another Japanese word, omotenashi, or superb levels of hospitality, for which Japan is rightly famous. Sontaku means supplying an omotenashi-style high-level service before the customer has realized they actually need that service. That is, anticipating the customer based on the host's conjecture about what they might need. Steve Jobs at Apple did that with the iPhone. We didn't realize we needed it when we were all happy with Nokia, Blackberry, etc. But now we can't go back. Wayne Gretzky, the legendary ice hockey star, made the same point when he said, "Skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it is now." Gary Vaynerchuk from Vaynermedia is famous for understanding where our digital attention is heading before we understand it ourselves. All of these aspects have a sontaku or conjecture element to them. What about leaders in Japan? There are many business challenges facing us here. Currency movements, government regulations, North Korea threatening our security, looming trade disputes with Trump, oil price fluctuations, China's military control of the sea lanes to Japan, weak consumer spending, potential collapse of the welfare system in Japan due to the aging population, government debt levels, the fragility of the tourist boom, etc., etc., etc. Another biggie is staffing. Delivery companies can't keep up with online retail purchase orders. Soba restaurants can't get young people to spend the many years required to learn the craft. Speaking Chinese will help us when we go to the convenience stores because not enough Japanese want to work there. We know that farmers are aging, but there are not enough successes in the pipeline. The construction industry is going to lose 1.3 million workers between now and 2025. In 2015, 30% of construction workers were over the age of 55. It is a physical job that doesn't age well. Overall, the youth population up to the age of 35 is going to more than halve between now and 2060. Where are the new hires going to come from? The dual aging and decline in the population is currently being addressed in 2 ways. One is moving businesses offshore or buying businesses in foreign climes where there is a growing buyer base. The other is automation. We will replace people with robots and machinery of some sort to make up for the shortfall in workers. Driverless vehicles make sense when you can't hire enough drivers. Robot attachments to our limbs is a reality now to help the aged go upstairs. The same idea applies to give workers the power needed to lift heavy items in factories and on building sites. Leaders will not be automated anytime soon because of all the soft skills needed. Are we going to be facing a major Sontaku deficit, though, because our leaders in organizations are not anticipating what their workers will want? Basic economics tells us that a reducing supply of labor coupled with a rising demand makes everything much more competitive. Our global research, confirmed for Japan as well, was that the sense of feeling valued by your boss and the organization was absolutely critical for being highly engaged at work. Great, but how would you know that you are valued? It all comes down to the skill of the boss and how the boss communicates and interacts with you. This is where Sontaku comes in. The boss anticipates your needs in your career and work before you realize it yourself. The leader is having the right type of career conversations, the correct discussions about what drives each staff's individual motivations, the ability to do delegation correctly so it is seen as a career enhancer and not a punishment. Are your leaders skating to where the puck is going to be, or are they racing into the 20th century in leadership terms? Are they still working off the old playbook of worker low mobility, high loyalty, total sacrifice and obedience? If your leaders are the product of OJT, on-the-job training alone, then get ready for disruption. Their mediocre bosses as their role models and their own best efforts to repeat that low standard in their own leadership will take your organization nowhere in this new world of work. The current crop of leaders expect the Sontaku to be applied to them, not the other way around. Brace for impact, everyone. In this relentless war for talent, we are about to crash. We are entering the new day of ruthless competition to recruit and retain staff. Leaders' soft skills of getting willing cooperation, encouraging real innovation, fostering creativity, being excellent persuaders, and having supreme people skills are the new reality. Technical knowledge isn't disappearing anytime soon in terms of importance, but hard skills alone won't be enough. If that is all you are providing to your teams, then watch your staff jump ship to your rivals who've skilled up their leaders in how to apply Sontaku to their staff as a recruit and retain strategy. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series, and hope you enjoyed today's show, brought to you by the Leadership Training for Managers course. As mentioned, if you have a performance or people challenge in Japan, then contact me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Also, remember to access all the good information there for you. It's over at japan.dalecarnegie.com. Check out my other podcasts, the Presentation Japan series and the Sales Japan series on iTunes. Shortly, we'll be launching the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show on YouTube, so look for that. Next week, we are talking about Tatemae, Honne, and the Gaijin Boss.